Hello everybody, it's Katie with Max Pet Marketing, and today we're going to do Max Pet Hot Seat. I'm going to give one lucky person 100% brutally honest marketing feedback. And we have someone who is doing a pet expo coming up, I think next weekend, and they've just been in business for about 4 or 5 months. They're a couple who does dog training, and they've just started, but they also they have a lot of experience in dog training, but not so much in marketing. So that's why they reached out to me to review their brochure they're handing out at the upcoming event. Brochures are a great way to get a lot of information packed into one small space. It's a great tool to use. Keep in mind, if you're handing out brochures, you should also be collecting contact information. Don't just hand out and hope they get back to you. But they can be an awesome tool if they are used correctly. So we're going to take a look at this brochure and we're going to tear it apart. I'm going to give 100% brutally honest feedback here. So not going to hold anything back in hopes that it will help you when you create your brochure. So here's what it looks like if it was going to be printed out front and back, but I'm going to dive in just section by section and we'll go through it as if we were opening it up. Okay, so this is the front of their brochure, that front panel. I like they have their website address at the top. You see it right here, right here. And there is a tiny typo where there's an underscore. It should be a dash. So if you happen to be in the Dallas area and you're looking for dog training, go to 360canine-training.com. The other thing I'd like to see is a space between 360 and canine. Just so that there's more clear definition between those two, I guess, words, numbers, whatever. You want a clear definition, clear space between that so I can easily read it when I look at it. And then at the bottom, let us transform your connection. I really like that she's talking about the transformation, but the connection is not necessarily where the focus should be. Yes, it's very important to have a great connection with your dog in order to have a well-behaved dog, and I really like that she uses that approach. Personally, in dog training, that's my approach. That's how I feel about it. But as a customer looking at this, they may not necessarily think, oh, hey, I want a better connection with my dog. They're thinking, I need a well-behaved dog. I need a dog that listens to my commands. So I think that there could be some better verbiage there. It looks like the dog's wearing a hat now. So let me clear that out so you can see this picture behind it a little bit better. So with canine training, this is a great picture of a dog, but I would like to see something that shows more in the training aspect. Like, so training aspect meaning like maybe a sit stay. So maybe this would be actually a really far away picture. Or maybe it's a closer up picture of somebody that's there doing a shake with the dog. I think that's a really good way to communicate some connection, and also the dog listening to you. They're giving, and you're joining kind of forces there to have a well-behaved dog. Okay. So one thing that's missing from this is their logo. Their logo is nowhere on here. Excuse me. So definitely make sure to put your logo on the front of your brochure so that there's logo recognition. People know who you are. They see your colors, they see your logo. Marketing is all about a learning game, and you never learn something the very first time you see it. So it's all about repetition. Okay, so those are the main points on the front panel. Let's go to the inside panel. So when you first open up the front panel, there's that inside. I love that she's got testimonials here. They absolutely are great for showing social proof. People don't really care what you have to say about your own business. They care much more about what other people have to say about your service. So this is awesome, spot on with that. The only thing that I would change here is having it actually typed up, and so that it looks more cohesive with your design. But great job on that. Okay, so this is the inside, and I'm just going to kind of go from left to right. So starting with this very first picture that we see here, this one here, it kind of looks, with that X over it, it looks like one of those pictures that you would take from a stock photography site without paying for it. And that's what I had originally asked her, was like, hey, is this just the draft? Is that why that watermark is there? And she had said, no, that's my own watermark. And I did notice, if you look at this here, it is their logo. I do like that. I think it's really cute, but it could be placed, you know, on the side, or, you know, at least so that it doesn't look like it was supposed to be a stock photo. So that can be easily changed. So reading this, find comfort in your home, and then goes to stop. So I am a little confused with that wording. Am I supposed to find comfort in my home, or am I stopping? What am I stopping? So I would definitely rework that verbiage there in order to really communicate what you're wanting them to stop. It says you're missing out on relaxing walks with Fido, taking Fido and to friends and family houses. There's a typo there. Coffee shops, comma should be before the or. So make sure you have somebody who you can trust to proofread this. We do offer proofreading services if you do need our help. This, I think, was more of a very rough draft that she wanted me to take a look at it overall. So there are some typos there. I think she's going to get fixed before moving into print. At least I hope so. Okay, so one thing that I am not seeing here overall is that is the problem. I'm seeing solutions, but I'm not seeing the real problem. And when you don't address the problem and you just assume that the customer or the prospect knows what the problem is, you're missing a very key opportunity to speak directly to them. I think that a lot of people avoid doing this because they don't want to exclude anyone. So for example, and I don't know that this was her train of thought, but just to address this now, is that perhaps her train of thought was that she doesn't want to exclude anyone. So the majority of people come to her about excessive barking and pulling on the leash during walks, but that's not mentioned here. So when she says you're missing out on relaxing walks with Fido, I'm not really totally sure what she's talking about, but had she had said something like, is Fido excessively pulling, you know, are they not behaving with people, then go into what the solution, or what more about what the problem is in the solution. So she does kind of address the problem that you're missing out on relaxing walks with Fido, but why? Why am I missing out on relaxing walks? I wouldn't necessarily understand that. So going to the bottom of this here, it says, what's holding you back? Speak with us today. Ooh, that was a terrible circle. Let me try that again. There we go. A little bit better. All right, so what's holding you back? Speak with us today. That's awesome, but there is no contact information. So if you want somebody to contact you and you give them that call to action, give them the information right there. So give your phone number, your website address, wherever you want them to go. Make sure that that information is included. Okay, so that's that left panel. Now let's go to the right side here. And I'm specifically looking at this picture now here. I like the picture. I like that the couple is standing there with their dog. The dog looks to be fairly attentive. What I don't like is the the words go over their faces, and you can see the dumpsters better than you can see the people. So I would really restructure that. You can even maybe zoom in on that picture, because I think there's a lot of extra space there. So maybe zoom in on that picture. I say zoom in, but really I mean crop it and make it so you kind of make it bigger. So be sure you're paying attention to the focal points of your pictures. They really mean a lot and say a lot as to the quality. First, it just connected. It's the quality of your brochure. People subconsciously think the quality of your product and service, and we don't want that to happen here. Okay, so make sure you get good pictures and that the dumpsters aren't the main thing in the shot. And moving on, after I get this line erased, now I am looking at this part here. And first, let me say I do like that she has common questions, frequently asked questions, FAQs, whatever you want to call them. I do like that they're addressing it here. And I know that a lot of times we want to address objections before they ever come up, but I do have different opinion on paying upfront and payments. So she says in this brochure that she understands that it can be a large investment, and it's true. It can be a large investment. As somebody who had a very wild puppy that was rescued straight out of a backyard where he got no attention and no socialization and was completely wild. I understand it can be a large investment, and I know that that's an objection that a lot of people have, but I wouldn't necessarily put it here. You really want to sell your services in your brochure and really sell the value of what you have to offer. So I don't think it's necessary in the brochure. Some people might disagree with that, but that is my stance on it. Okay. And now here at the bottom with services, again, she addresses the pricing, with that type of pricing where it is higher than normal. I would wait and I would speak to the customer about that. Make sure that you've really clearly communicated the value of your service so that they are prepared to see that higher amount. So the average person spends $1,400 with prices ranging from $400 to $3,000. Only 100 do at signing. So I don't think that information is necessary on a brochure, so I would just remove that. And then establish undeniable trust between you and your companion. I really like that, but again, it doesn't necessarily speak to the fact that after your services, I'm going to have a well-trained dog that I can give a command and know that they're going to respond. And yes, that is trust, but I don't think that the words really speak to that directly. Okay, and then we've got the back of the brochure. Serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, people in that area know DFW, so I don't have a problem with that abbreviation. There are a couple typos here with free evaluation at the very first. You see that letter is not capitalized. Let me get a better color here. You can't see it on that. Here, blue. So the free evaluation is not capitalized there, but you see in the next one it is capitalized. So you want to make sure to keep it consistent, and the next one is too. So you want to keep that consistent. Free evaluation up to 45 miles. Anything over 45 miles will be a $15 charge for travel. I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't know if that's really necessary to put there, but I don't have a problem with it either. Maybe just a small fee or, whatever. I think $15. I think it's fine to put it there. Exclusive Pet Expo offer. I like that. She's giving an offer for somebody that specifically met her at the Pet Expo. They're giving $120 off. And And then she mentions that we come to you. We encourage you to train in the comfort of your own home where you will get the best results. I think that is better said on the inside. That's one of the things that I think would be very important to me as somebody that is looking for a dog trainer. I want to know, do you do this in my home or am I going to a class? I think some people prefer a class where some people prefer to do it in their own home. Me, myself, with my wild child, I could not go to a class because he would be incredibly distracting. He was not suited for a class. So if she did only classes, then I wouldn't be a good fit for that, at least not with my specific dog. So I would put that information. I think that's pretty important to put it in the middle. And that's it. A big thank you to 360 Canine Training for letting me put you in the hot seat. Everyone else, I hope this was insightful as you create your new brochure. And, if you have anything else that you want feedback on, if you have a flyer or you want feedback on your website or maybe an ad you're putting in somewhere, hit me up. We can put you in our hot seat. Kati, Kati without an E at maxpetmarketing.com. That's Kati without an E at maxpetmarketing.com. We also offer exhibitor strategy coaching for those of you who do pet events like pet expos or pet cons. We also do copy and design for banners, flyers, brochures, websites. We do Instagram coaching, email marketing, brand development, and a lot more. So if you have any struggles in marketing, if you're looking to grow, or you have questions, hit me up, Kati without an E, Kati at maxpetmarketing.com. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you very soon.